The U.S. Supreme Court cleared the way Monday for the expansion of gay marriage in America. The justice is allowed to stand appeals court rulings overturning voter-approved constitutional amendments banning same-sex marriage in 5 states. The ruling opens the door for same-sex marriages in Indiana, Oklahoma, Utah, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Gay and lesbian couples celebrated the news, with many marrying within hours of the decision. The move increases the numbers of states allowing same-sex marriage to 24 and could increase to 30 in the coming weeks. Supporters of traditional marriage were disappointed in the ruling, but say they will continue fighting.
There's bad news and good news in this decision. The bad news from our perspective is that these states have been denied the opportunity to defend their marriage laws in the highest court in the land. The good news is that the Supreme Court does not seem to be as eager to issue a sweeping ruling redefining marriage as many observers seem to think they were.
Following that ruling, CBN's Mark Martin spoke with Brad Jacobs of Regent University School of Law about the impact of the court's decision.
Now, by refusing to hear these cases, the court effectively legalized gay marriage in 30 states. Why do you think they allowed that to happen?
There's a lot of different reasons they might have done it, and it's hard to know. What they've done is they've left in place all of the Court of Appeals rulings that have upheld gay marriage. And so far, that's been every federal court of appeals that's considered the issue. The Supreme Court could look at it again later. They could come back in a year or two. But whether they'll actually do that is a very different question.
Okay. Well, does this mean the fight over gay marriage in the U.S. is over?
Oh, over is a very strong word. God is sovereign, and a lot of different things have happened. But certainly, there would be 2 different ways to fight the battle. One is if it's just being done through legislation and policy. And, you know, some states have voted to allow gay marriage, and many others have not. Once the federal courts, though, decide that it's not constitutional to restrict marriage to a man and a woman, then there's not much that anybody else can do about it.
Now, I had also read that the Sixth Circuit, based in Cincinnati, is likely to side with states that ban gay marriage. What are your thoughts on that?
I try not to prognosticate what the courts will do. I'm neither a prophet nor the son of a prophet, but they could do it. Right now, you know, we're in the middle of sort of a cultural sea change. Just in the last 10 or 15 years, many Americans are changing the way they think about homosexuality. You know, I teach students at a Christian law school, and I've been quite amazed at how in the last 10 years or so, many young Christians have sort of moved to a position of saying, well, I think that homosexuality is morally wrong, but I don't think the government should treat those couples any differently than anyone else. It's not how most people thought just a few years ago. So the direction this thing is going, I'm not at all optimistic that it's going to reverse its direction.
Well, some say it's better that they did not address the issue rather than issue a blanket ruling in support of gay marriage. What's your opinion on that quickly?
Well, obviously, if the Supreme Court had taken one of these cases and ruled, if they had ruled that there is no constitutional right to gay marriage, then these Court of Appeals decisions would have been overturned. The number of states with gay marriage would have been still quite small. And who knows what will happen with that issue in the future, but the voters or the legislatures would have had to change it. If the case had gone to the Supreme Court and they said there is a fundamental constitutional right to gay marriage, then the battle would be over. I mean, it would become mandated in all states.
Okay. Brad Jacob with the Regent University School of Law. Thanks, Brad, for your time today.
Thank you, Mark. My pleasure.